What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Papa JT coming at you with my Week 6 college football predictions and analysis. And this video, I'm doing Florida versus LSU. So before I begin, make sure to please like the video, make sure to subscribe. And when you subscribe, you get me one subscriber closer to my goal of 1,000 subscribers. So please hit the subscribe button to show support. I do these every week, highlighting the key games and previewing the key games, NFL news and college football news, all that good stuff. So make sure to subscribe. So here we go. We have Florida versus LSU. LSU has two impressive wins versus the Miami Hurricanes and Auburn, all ranked in the top 25. Miami outside of the top 15, but Auburn still in the top 10. And they beat Auburn on the road. So Joe Burrow, they had him going, and he was very impressive versus Ole Miss last week. So now we're going to see what he'll do in this LSU offense and this great LSU defense against this Florida team that has risen up to the occasion, that has surprised a lot of people about how improved they are. Well, just a little bit. After that Kentucky loss, they have been on a hot streak. And this team is favored to win according to ESPN. They have a 57% chance to win this game. Now, this Florida team, you can't sleep on this Florida. This Florida team now is respectable enough and good enough that you have to respect them. But the question is, it's no question about their defense. They have one of the best defense in the country, but will their offense show up to play in this game? That's the question. So let's get into the offensive and defensive comparisons, comparing the LSU offense to the Florida defense. LSU on offense is 78th in offensive yards per game, averaging 396.6 yards per game. They're 91st in passing yards per game with 204.6. They're 52nd when they run the ball, averaging 192 rushing yards. And they're 48th in total points per game, averaging 33.8 points per game. Now, the Florida defense is 19th in yards per game given up, allowing 311 yards on defense. They're second in passing yards per game given up, only allowing a whopping 140 passing yards per game. And they're 85th in stopping the run, allowing 171 rushing yards per game. And they're 9th in points per game given up, only allowing 14 points per game. Comparing the Florida offense to the LSU defense, Florida's offense is 92nd in offensive yards per game, having 378.2 yards per game. They're 92nd passing the ball for 203.4 yards per game. They're 71st in their rushing attack, having 174.8 rushing yards per game on the ground. And they're 42nd in points per game, having 35.4 points per game on offense. Now, the LSU defense is 32nd in defensive yards per game given up, only giving up 333.2 yards per game on defense. They're 79th stopping the pass, allowing 230.8 passing yards per game. They're 16th in stopping the run. They only give up 103 rushing yards per game. And they're 12th in points per game only giving up 15 points per game. So the keys to victory that each team needs to execute to win this game: Florida has to have consistent quarterback play from Felipe Franks. I'm still not sold on him, and his accuracy is a big issue, and I feel like he might be halting this Florida offense just a little bit. I think they have a good skill position core at the wide receiver position, and I feel like Felipe Franks is kind of holding those guys back. But Dan Mullen has been hell-bent on having him finish the season out as his starting quarterback. So Florida fans are just going to have to see better consistent play if they want to beat this LSU team. This has to be his best game that he's ever had. And the offensive line has to have a great game. This also has to be one of the best games they have had, because the offensive line for Florida has been shaky, very inconsistent play. It's only been about 2 games that they have actually dominated. And when I say dominate, I mean literally gave up no sacks, no penetration, and we're only seeing that twice, and that was against cupcake opponents. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this offensive line of Florida handles this stacked front seven of LSU with this great linebacking core and pretty good at stopping the run. They also have to stop the LSU run game. That's very, very apparent. LSU wants to pound the ball into the ground with those big power runners, and LSU doesn't really have any finesse guys. They just have simply guys that can run north south and run you the hell over. So Florida's going to have to be able to stop that to have a chance to win and force LSU to pass the ball with this great secondary and great coverage corners that they have. LSU has to get pressure on Felipe Franks. Obviously, they're going to have to stop the run to do that, which should be easily accomplished since LSU is pretty good at stopping the run. And when you force Florida to have to rely on Felipe and Franks to run the game, then things are obviously going to be in your favor. He's not very accurate, and he's kind of he gets very, very paranoid in the pocket when going against that blitz. So they need to limit penalties and turnovers. You do not want to keep this Florida team in the game, and they need to keep pressure on the Florida offense. You need to have the pressure on Florida, which would be getting out to a 21-point lead. If LSU is able to get out to a 21-point lead, LSU is going to have this game won, and they're going to have it in the bag because this Florida offense is not that good to be playing from behind. They need to have the game close to win, and LSU cannot allow that to happen by limiting penalties or turnovers, because this Florida team thrives on turnovers. They're one of the top teams in the country in forcing turnovers, and that's the reason why they're 4-1 right now, ranked the 22nd best team in the nation. So the team I have winning this game, I have LSU winning this game in a close one. I think it's going to be very, very close and tightly contested down to the fourth quarter. And I believe that Felipe Franks is going to have to win this game for Florida. And I just think it's not going to happen. I think LSU wins this game in a close one. I think it's going to be 21-16 LSU. So let me know what you guys think about my predictions down in the comment section below. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for